Hello, friends. This is Sky, and I'll be with you until sleep. You don't need to listen closely. You can drift off whenever you like. However this day has been, you don't need to carry it any further tonight. If there's tiredness here, that's welcome. If there's restlessness, that's welcome too. Nothing needs resolving. For those of you who like returning to the same place at night, there's a membership you can join with ad-free listening and a growing library of longer episodes to rest with. It's there if and when you want it. The link is in the description. Now, let's settle in. Sometimes the mind wants to go back over the day, checking, reviewing. If that happens, there's no need to stop it. We're not trying to get anywhere. You're allowed to rest without having everything sorted. There's nothing you need to achieve by sleeping. There's nothing you need to prove. I'm here with you. And now, dear ones, let us begin a journey into rest and sleep. I invite you to lie back in your bed or be in a comfy chair or the place where you are getting ready for sleep. And notice the support of the bed or the chair underneath you. Notice it holding you. And I invite you to also notice that there's nothing you actually need to do, but be here now. If thoughts arise, that's okay. Just let them be. Let them float through like a cloud, floating across your mind. And know that the vast infiniteness that is you, like the sky, nothing can touch and nothing stays there. And yet, in the lower levels of the sky, sometimes clouds pass by. And these clouds can be different. Sometimes they're white and puffy. Sometimes they're dark and stormy. Sometimes they let down rain. And sometimes we see rainbows. Whatever it is that's happening for you right now is perfectly fine. All you need to do is let yourself settle. Let your body become heavy and listen to my voice as we go deeper and deeper into this place of relaxation and rest. I invite you to notice your body, your head gently resting against a pillow or a mattress or a cushion. And perhaps, if it feels right, allowing it to become heavy, allowing your head to let go. If you notice any tension in your neck or in your shoulders, try allowing them to let go into the pillows, into the cushion. You don't have to hold them anymore. All you need to do is listen to my voice and allow the rest to settle in. And now moving down through your shoulders to your back and your chest, allowing them to sink deeper into the mattress, into the cushions, into the pillows, allowing a sense of letting go, knowing that this bed or this place that you are will hold you. There's nothing you need to do. There's nowhere you need to be. I'll be right here with you as you settle, as you rest, as you allow the relaxation to envelop you. Moving down into the lower back, the mid-back, the abdomen, and the belly, letting these places become heavy. Noticing if there's any tightness in your tummy. And if there is, allowing it to gently unwind, knowing that right here, right now, I'm with you, right here beside you, as you begin to rest. Allowing your back to let go. Knowing that the cushions, the mattress, it's all supporting you. They literally have your back. And you just let go, allowing, if it feels right, everything to be held by something more than you, something bigger. Knowing that I'm right here, and together we're floating off on this journey into rest. And now moving down into your legs, into your knees, lower legs, noticing that they can become heavy. They don't need to hold up your body right now. They can rest. They can relax. They can just be without having to do anything. They're allowed to rest and relax. And now moving down into the feet, those wonderful feet that seem so small compared to the rest of the body. Because when we're standing, they hold so much. All the rest of your bones and your muscles and your tendons and your brain, all that rests on top of these little feet when we're standing. And now, dear friend, it is time to allow those feet to be level, to be parallel with the rest of the body, not holding anything, not having to do anything, but rest. Notice the position they're in. Notice if they can become just a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more at ease. And as you continue to settle in, even if it feels strange, even if there is still tenseness or tightness, or perhaps no feeling at all, that's okay. It's all okay. Remember, there's nothing you need to do, but just listen to my voice and allow the heaviness to take over if that feels right for you. If thoughts come and go, that's fine. If my voice drifts into the background, that's fine too. I'll stay with you as long as you need me. I'd like to tell you about what I did today. I went to a beautiful place. To get to this place, I walked. What way should I go? I asked myself. It seemed like a good idea to take the shorter way along the road, so I wouldn't get too wet from the rain. I put on my wellies, a coat, a scarf, and a hat. Then I grabbed an umbrella I walked out the door with a brisk pace down to the end of the road, and turning a corner, I passed the long rock wall that goes around the abbey. I passed a giant puddle in the road, and then past a roundabout. I continued along a road with a beautiful mural on the wall. And since it was raining so heavily, I did not stop to look, but kept walking. Over toward the next corner that needed turning. I then walked up the road toward the spring. As I got there, I noticed a small garden on the right with pools of water gently cascading down. And then I saw the gates. I went through the gates and into the darkness inside the building. The sound of the water rushing into the building was so loud. The water comes in the building through a pipe and fills up the pools. Then it continues on its journey out of the building, where it carries on with a life of its own. I noticed that before I walked in. I went around to the left, to the source of the massive flow of water. I then greeted the water by touching it and speaking to it. This water is very special. But of course, all water is special. This is spring water that flows under the door and comes in to this building. The spring has been there a long time, before that building was even here. It's been very, very rainy lately. And when this happens, the flow of the water increases. I listen to the thundering cascade as it pours into the pool and over the steps. Candlelight shimmers all around me. I can see the glittering lights sparkle off the surface of the pools. It feels very sacred. I sighed with contentment. Knowing there are still places in this world that are so simple, yet so mystical, makes me feel very happy. It gives me hope. I sit on a nearby bench and listen to the water. There's no voices, no talking, just me and the elements. Water, fire, earth, air, and the ethers. I allow the depth of the moment to fill me. After a while, I walked over to the steps to get a small candle. I turn around and walk back with the candle toward the center pool. I light the candle with one of the candles sitting on the edge. I say a blessing, a wish, a prayer, a hope, and then place that candle near the others and marvel at how my little light has joined the others, making more sparkles on the water. Feeling full of peace and ease, I gently thank the waters and this place. Then I turn to leave, walking slowly and mindfully toward the entrance. Up the stairs and back out into the world. After coming out of the dark, I notice that it's not raining anymore. The sun had come out, and my eyes had to adjust again. From the dark to the light of day. And I noticed the contrast between dark and light. The darkness that I was just in, lit by the light of candles. Hearing the sound of the water rumbling. And now I'm out in the sunshine. I can see a few yew trees, very old ones, gently swaying their branches in the breeze. And I can still hear the sound of the water. Outside here, there is a place to collect the beautiful spring water. This wonderful water that flows from under the earth, comes out at the surface, is right here, ready to collect. Anybody can come and collect this water. It's free, just as it should be. It's cold and crisp. I walk over to one of the spouts of water and I put my hands under it. It felt so cold, so clean and clear and crisp. I gently scooped some of this water into the cup of my hand and brought it up to my mouth to taste. The delicious, fresh, mineralized water coming out of the earth. I tasted again, and I was surprised and amazed by the wonders of this place that we call home. This planet, this ball floating through the universe. Floating through the galaxies, floating along, held by that bright star we call the sun. And on this ball, we've got all this beautiful, fresh water that we can drink, that nourishes our bodies so deeply. And I held this water in my hand. I noticed the sun sparkling on that little bit of water in my hand. And I was reminded of the times when I've looked out at the ocean and I've seen the glittering sunlight dancing on the surface of the water. It was the same here, right in my hand. It's a beautiful bit of water sparkling right here. I drank one more sip of the water. Then I gently opened my fingers and allowed the rest to pour out through my hand till it wasn't there anymore. And just like a child, I marveled at the beautiful wonder of this very simple thing. And with that, I went across to the other spring and again filled the cup of my hand with some water and tasted it in my mouth. This was also cold and crisp and clear, but it tasted very strongly of iron, so rich. Yet having a different taste and a different mineral content to the other water. And again, I felt the joy and the wonder that I could do this on any day. This day that was just like any other day. After drinking, I opened my fingers and let the water run through them. Being aware of the sensation as the water poured through my hand. After I had had my fill, I turned to walk up the hill. As I began my ascent up the hill, I looked over to the left and saw some snowdrops. little white flowers. On this crisp winter day, they made it. They broke through. It was such a joy to see them. Finally, in the depth of this cold winter, these beautiful flowers popping up. And when I look closely, it looks like there could be a little heart on them. It's so cute and so sweet. And then, as I walked further along, I noticed daffodils, or what is the start of them. The green leaves shooting up, getting ready for the flowers to make their appearance. And I knew that spring will be coming soon. Already, the days are growing brighter. Already, the sun is up longer in the evenings and earlier in the mornings. Already, there is so much more light than there was a month ago. And this feels really exciting. Really exciting. And as I continue walking up the hill, I can hear the song of the robins singing. And the wrens and a few of the other birds who stay over winter. Their little song courageously piercing through the cold of winter. And as I carry on up the hill, I notice water running down. More of this wonderful water. It's been so wet and so rainy. There is still a lot of water running down the roads, collecting in the ditches, puddles, and ponds. And I know that some of the trails are very muddy. Because of all this abundant rain. But that is what keeps everything so green and full of life. As I turn the corner to go up another hill, I notice on my right, a little robin comes and lands very close to me. It's so sweet. It's got tiny little legs with tiny little toes and a little body that's puffed out to keep itself warm. It looked at me with its big brown eye, and I was reminded of a time when it was warmer and I was digging in the garden, and a robin came so close to me. I could have touched it. It was getting worms and bugs, and then it would hop back so I could dig a little more and come close again and get more worms. And I tell this little robin that's next to me now that I'm not doing any digging quite yet. I'm just walking by. But I'm so glad it came by to say hello. On its breast is a red-orange patch, and they've got a cute little beak. It reminds me of the sweetness of life, that even in these times of cold and dark, the sweetness of life is still around. It can still be found. It's here with us. The robin and I look at each other for a while until the robin flies off. And I continue walking up the hill. I see more snowdrops and a few brave daffodils that are starting to come up. It's time to turn another corner. And here, there's a break. in the hedge and a gate, and through the gate I can see the sheep. Now, I think these sheep are also very brave. They stay out all year round with no shelter beside their thick, woolly coats. And there they are, with their muddy feet, chewing at whatever grass they can find. This time of year, the grass is still very green, and there's plenty for them to eat. In this particular field, it's on a slight slope, so the sheep are only a little bit muddy. They can still find some drier ground to lay on. I notice them peacefully grazing. And in the sky, some puffy white clouds going by, as it happens to now be a sunny day. Or maybe just a sunny few hours. A small bit of respite from all the rain that comes out of the clouds. And I continue my walk around another corner. As I go along, I notice some tall trees coming. Tall trees up ahead. A grand, mighty beech. It's got many, many branches and folds and creases, and it stands tall on a hill. And as I get closer, I notice that it is on the other side of the fence. But still, some of the branches are on the side of the fence that I am on. And the beautiful tall tree stands as a sentinel, or maybe a friend, to the orchard of apples below it. As I look down the hill, there are many apple trees hibernating, leafless, still with their branches reaching up toward the sky. their leaves already composted into the earth below them. And I know inside of them they're dreaming, getting ready, thinking about when will be just the right time to put out new leaves, then make flowers, and then to start growing more of those beautiful apples. Glorious, red, shiny apples. I continue walking, thinking about the apples, and I notice more trees and more plants in the hedges, and I wonder about the hedgehogs and what they're doing this time of year. Sleeping, no doubt, buried underground, keeping warm, sleeping, dreaming of the time when they will come out and find all the little goodies that they find to eat. And now it's time to turn another corner. Around this corner, I start to go down a hill, noticing. There's one very interesting tree on the right. It's on top of a ledge, right on the very edge of the ledge. And all of its roots are exposed. I can see the tree growing up, reaching toward the sky. And I can also see all the roots going down below. And the roots of this tree are actually bigger than the tree itself. They're all exposed. The soil worn away from around them. But it's so beautiful. I have seen people taking photos here because it's a magical place. And when I look to the left, the ground is covered with plants. And like a flash, a little squirrel goes running up a tree. From the ground, it hopped up the tree, and once it gets high enough, it starts making a little noise at me. I let it know that I'm just passing by. I won't look where it's hid its acorns. And I carry on walking down the road until I reach a few houses. And I know I'm getting close. I walk back down the road, past the houses with the thatched roofs, past the houses with the big slabs of rock in the front, past the tangle of plants on the walkway. That place is overgrown with brambles and weeds. I duck under this and continue walking down the road, almost coming full circle now. I carry on, walking for a while, around a few more corners and bends, till I finally get to the front door. I took the keys out of my pocket and went inside, where I met the warmth of the house, the sound of the crackling fire, and a warm cup of tea. And that, dear friends, is what I did today. Now, if you're still with me and you can still hear me, that's okay. I'm here. I'm still here with you. You don't need to listen anymore. But if you are, I'm still here. With you. No matter what is happening in your world, whether you are sleeping or not, that is okay. There's no pressure. I'll stay with you. I'll stay with you. And now, I say good night, dear one. If you can still hear me, just replay this episode or the next one, and I'll be right here with you until sleep.